What's going on, you guys? Jay here, and welcome back to the channel. So don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you get an opportunity on the way out, drop a comment. It's really going to help us here on the channel, and in turn, more people could find LUNC. So we are moving along that trend line very well, if I don't mind saying so. I said previously we could probably see a decent little breakout, and we've seen a nice move over the weekend. And again, this has been very nice for all of us to see, because it starts to reflect all of the positive enforcement that is surrounding our blockchain currently. And like I keep saying, we're going to address the negatives, but we're also going to address the key positives. And what I want to do is start to draw a bit of a timeline and show everybody this is far bigger than any of you can comprehend at this moment in time. And we're all guilty of consistently looking at the 1 hour charts, not taking a step back, not looking at the bigger picture. So what we're going to be focusing on is the burning and how this really correlates out into SHIB's movement, the 400 trillion SHIB burn, which was around 50% of their total supply, how that affected SHIB's price, how long it took to really play out. And yeah, we'll start to draw a bigger picture for you guys. As you all know, we've burnt the Anchor Protocol assets. That was a considerable amount. When I say considerable, I really do mean it. You're talking about 750 million USTC. This is a significant amount of a supply, considering how low it is, being only in the billions itself as a total supply. So this was a big hit, and I've said to everybody prior, Binance seems to be the biggest distributor of LUNC. If we're going to see an uptick, an uptrend in people purchasing LUNC from multiple exchanges, well, we could see them replenish their LUNC balances from somebody like Binance, in turn, right, starting to create these different kind of domino effects. When it comes down to burning, what I understand is it works, but on a very, very long time frame. You've got to be very patient with these things. Of course, we went in, we burnt the Mirror Protocol assets, and this really added up to a decent amount for our blockchain. So what we need to focus on next would be the shuttle assets, sitting at just under $250 billion LUNC. This is not a small amount. It's a significant amount, and it has landed them in the position of the #1 top burner. I'm working on another video where we go over and we discuss how this might be possibly going through the marketing team over at Binance, how they could possibly, I don't know, come up with a bigger burn to put themselves in the #1 position. We don't know how the psychology is going to work, but what we do know here currently is this was a significant burn. And again, it chopped a lot of the overall supply of the LUNC coin, a significant amount. On top of that, we saw a lot of different burning, which went under the radar. As we can see from trial exhibit P301, and as I've explained to you guys previously, there was a lot of assets that were simply destroyed, and TFL committed to all of those burns. Now, going forward, what we need to focus on, like I said, is the hit on the supply and how this is really going to affect us in the future. When we're looking at the total supply, of course, anybody on the outside is going to go, oh, 6.5 trillion. You guys really haven't got far. But what they don't understand is there's 1 trillion locked up in stake. This is essentially removed from the supply, which leaves us with a decent circulating supply of around 5.5 trillion. What we all need to understand is this blockchain's price and market cap is not limited or restrained by our supply, and SHIB has proven that. I've gone through and I've shown you guys this in previous videos. So what I want to do just before we go in and we really start to talk about the SHIB side of this and look at the price chart and how long it took, because you'll be surprised if you haven't really stayed up to date with these kind of things we cover on the channel. A lot of people don't watch the SHIB content that I do, but a lot of it is revolving around our behavior as a blockchain and how SHIB's behavior really begins to match We're walking a path very similar to SHIB when it comes down to burning. So when we're looking at the USTC supply during the past year, so the past 12 months, there's been significant hits on the USTC supply. As you probably know from my previous video, that is about to take another 4% hit if all of the validators agree on consensus that those 8 wallets should be destroyed. If you haven't watched a previous video today, go back, watch it, then come back to this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Such an important aspect. Really going to help us out here on the channel. As you can see, USTC's done pretty good. If we just flick back to the LUNC chart, we can see that TFL committing to burning the shuttle assets left us with $250 billion LUNC being torched. When you start to do the percentages, you run the averages, you do the maths, you do the length work, and you compare SHIB to LUNC, the burning, and how it's really going for us, we're doing very well. Our supply isn't 400 trillion, it's not 800 trillion, okay? It's just under 5.5 trillion. That's the amount of funds that are currently circulating off chain that could essentially, yes, be burned. The stuff that is in stake is not going to be burned because it's in stake. You see where I'm starting to go with this. Now, what we want to do is focus on the all-important factor here, was the burning of 400 trillion Shiba Inu tokens. Now, this was 50% of the overall supply, about $6 billion in total value. Now, when you look at this, you think, madman, why have you done this?
Why?
Madman. But as an end result, what we're left with is the reality and possibility that somebody out there, Binance, not Binance, could be planning something similar to this. So what we now want to do is go and look at the price chart for Shiba Inu. And what we've got here, and I've highlighted the area exactly where that burn came in back in May 2021. And what you can see here, we'll measure it from left to right, and we'll go to where it begins to pick up, only just where it begins to pick up. And you can see it's around 137 days later. Now, you might be shocked that after burning 50%, right, guys, of the total supply, $6 billion, nothing happened. Okay, it moved relatively sideways, slightly uphill. We have got this on the day view, but there's a trend line there. And this trend line was very strong. It was very steady. There were moves up, there were moves down, but it consistently bounced on this trend line. And like I said, we're really zoomed in here. So if I just give it a little shuffle upwards, you start to see, oh, we've got a trend line here. So now what we want to do is take another arrow, and we want to say to ourselves, well, essentially it was bouncing in this area during that time. So a 50% burn comes in and the coin tracks sideways, moving upwards slightly, going up, setting highs, setting lows, but bouncing all importantly on a trend line. So now we can see that all of that burning didn't do anything straight away, but later on, around 140 days later, there was a significant move upwards. So if I reset the view and then we just zoom out, we can see that that move was exponential. I mean exponential. It really did put Shiba Inu as a coin on the map, where it no longer was really a meme coin. It became this serious candidate in the crypto space, and still now they maintain a rather large community, a substantial market cap, a top 20 ranking a lot of the time, sometimes seeing them up in the top 10. So what I'm really getting at here is we as a blockchain have really burnt a lot of coins. We've got our supply down by a significant amount. And when you compare that to a chain like Shiba Inu that's got a considerable amount more in coins, you start to see, well, hey, actually, we are chipping away at this supply, actually, Jay. We are starting to get through this. And now what I would say to you is, let's say the 8 wallets that I'm going to propose to burn for a chain upgrade is successful. We burn those assets, we reduce another 4% of the overall USTC supply, and then we're left with the LFG reserves. The LFG reserves are probably around 14 to 20%, ballpark figure, just throwing it out there. I'm working on a video, bear with me. But that's how much you're talking about. Now we start to get serious on the idea of some kind of repeg. Now, I've always been a fan, if you was to repeg at a penny. No one has really any successful penny stable coins. It's new, it's exciting, it's bold, it's brash, $1, screw that. Let's just go for a penny. But you put yourselves in the realms of reality, the possible route where USTC actually has a chance. Remove the Oracle Rewards USTC or reduce those rewards drastically, and you increase that chance tenfold, 20-fold. You see where I'm starting to go with this. Now, what I want to do is go over and I want to focus on this all-important trend line that I keep talking about. We are a chain that has been wrapped in chaos for a long time. It's not our fault. We inherited a very broken piece of technology. Over time, it's got to where it is now. And I really do believe all of the positives are kicking in. Something that really does need to happen in order for our chain to evolve is to reach a higher price per coin. It would actually begin to ease that depletion on the Oracle rewards pool, because essentially, if the rewards pool's going down but the price is going up, well, then that's okay. But if the rewards pool is going down and the price is consistently staying down, well, then you've got a bit of a problem. You've got to fix one or the other, if not both. I've spoken about Project Remedy. I really do think it's going to be an opportunity for the chain to restore itself. But in the meantime, all of this burning, I think it's catching up. Now, like I said, we've got more burning on the horizon, around 4% of the USTC supply. It's a very, very good thing for us to attach to. Binance is seemingly going to continue burning throughout 2025. And there's always the possibility that Do Kwon, inside his plea deal, could ask that USTC is either burned or sent back to the Oracle pool or the community pool. Although it's a very slim chance, we know there is a chance there. Because Chris Armani stated himself, Mr. Kwon, his original intent was to send the USTC back to the original community. Like I've explained prior, there's so many different bullish things on the horizon past this current video, and so many bullish things that have happened prior, including LUNCDash and those native tools coming forward. It's part of a bigger plan, part of a bigger movement, and everything that's going on at the moment seems to be outweighing the negatives. And from my perspective, this is actually really good. It's nice to see us forming some kind of pattern that makes sense and actually correlates with the behavior that's being put forward and the TLC that the chain's getting. And honestly, the deforking is going to be very interesting. So something everybody should expect over the course of the next 14 days leading up to the 20th is some squirreling. And what I mean by this is this area that I've got in this little wedge is more or less your handle area in a bigger or larger cup and handle pattern. Now, with that being said, we could squirrel in this area, but at the same time, it would be healthy for us to come down and touch this trend line. And by coming down and touching that trend line, you're going to confirm what we're speaking about and what we've spoken about prior. These are all of the different things that I'm looking at. I'm trying to find the positives. I'm trying to report on the negatives. I'm developing, I'm pushing tech. We're working on Project Remedy. There's so many benefits, guys. I've never been this bullish on crypto, but more importantly, I've never been this bullish on Terra Classic because, like I said, I'm not going in circles. I'm just going in a straight line. So looking to the 20th, looking past the 20th, it's going to be interesting. We're now in a world where you've got a crypto positive Senate in the United States. You've got a crypto positive president. Okay, the people surrounding him like Bo Hines, Elon Musk, pro crypto. Gary Gensler's going to be hoofed out. Someone who replaces him is likely going to be a crypto magnate. It's going to be someone who's going to foster in new rules and regulations. We can see the United States is already going towards this because they've put a lot of the tax reporting for your crypto earnings on hold. Elon Musk is making a point of reporting on meme coins, them having crazy names, trying to explain what you've staked, what you've earned, what you've lost. It's just nuts at this point. But what we do know is there's a lot of positive talk on Terra Classic. There's a lot of positive talk in crypto, but leading up to the 20th, it's going to be emotional. We could go up, we could go down, we could go up, we could go down, but eventually we're going to see that bigger breakout that I've been talking about. And past that point, it becomes the realm of unknown. Okay, crypto has never ever been in an environment like this. It's never seen an ecosystem like this. It's growing at an exponential rate. AI adoption is pushing it harder and faster every day. The meme coin sector has completely evolved into something even Alex Becker wants to talk about now. Someone who religiously hated meme coins. That speaks absolute mountains. But guys, let me know what you think about all of the burning. What do you think about these 8 wallets? Do you think Do Kwon is going to maybe get those 1.83 billion USTC coins somehow slipped into his plea deal? Let me know what you guys think. And more importantly, let me know what you think about Shiba Inu. Did you know it took that long for it to move up after they torched $6 billion, 50% of the overall supply? Aside that, guys, stay safe, stay humble, stay aware. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.